All right, welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be going over adding in custom shelving. It's a little bit different than just adding in some static objects. So let's go ahead and start off here where I have everything ripped in Unity, just like from where the first video ended, looking good. So I'm going to go ahead and create an empty. We're just going to call it shelf. And then I already have a shelf modder imported here that I'm going to use. So we're going to take that and drop it in there. Let's pull this up to 0, 0, 0. So I don't have to go searching for it there. There it goes. Okay. So the shelf that I want to add is this one, the 5 shelf. So we're going to dig down into the Sketchfab model, and we're going to get rid of these other 2 shelves. If it's blue like this, it means it's in part of a prefab. The importing does it. It adds as a prefab. You can just click on prefab. You can right click on it, go to prefab and unpack, and it just unpacks it. And then you can delete stuff out of it. So I'm just going to delete those 2. All right. And we are looking good. So let's go ahead and pull this down. I made a different file for my called my assets 2 because I wanted to go into a different asset pack. And we're just going to pull that down into here. Let's go ahead and take a quick screenshot of this. And what I'm going to do with that screenshot is I'm just going to import it here into my asset 2 folder. And we're just going to make that the icon. So we're going to click it. We're going to add that as a sprite 2D, apply, and we're just going to give it a unique name, shelf icon. That GN should keep it relatively unique. And that's going to be its icon once it's in the store for the box and the store icon. All right, so let's go ahead and go into the prefab view by double clicking the prefab. All right, so first thing I want to do is I want to make sure I want to rotate this because I want, well, first thing I want to do is I don't want all these. So all these, if you just click on them, you can see all they are is just transforms. That's it. So I just want the root node. So I'm just going to take that out. I'm going to drag it and place it under shelf. And then I'm going to click these other ones and just hit delete. And now I just have the root node, which has the shelf base and all the shelving. Right. I could even go a little bit further because the root node's just a transform and this is just a transform. So I think I'm just going to take that and drag it there and then delete root node. And then this is where it starts having all of your meshes in it. Right, so we want to keep those. All right, and from the shelf, and I'm not a model expert. I'm sure somebody that knows how to model and does the modeling and is actually good at it can have this down a lot better in terms of the number of pieces it's used and all that good stuff. But I just go off of what I get off Sketchfab and make it and customize it for what I need it for. All right, so first thing we're going to do is shelf. We need to add a component, and this is going to actually just be a shelf. That's it, shelf script. This does inherit from interactable object. All right, so we're going to go through and we're going to fill these out here in just a minute. But first, what I like to do, as usual, is I'm going to go to my prefabs. I'm going to find, this is a double-sided shelf. So let's find that double-sided shelf prefab in here. I know it's in here. This is the single-sided one. If you want, you can, if you want the shelves, the things to look like if I bring the small one back in again, you notice it's facing in a different direction than this one is. Basically, you just want to make the blue point towards you, which is easy enough. You can take this and you can just rotate it however you need to rotate it to make the blue face you. Oh, blue's facing down again. So blue needs to face up. So that needs to be a 0. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put another transform in between here. So we're just going to Control Z. We're going to put another transform in between here. I know I just deleted one, but we're going to right click on shelf, create empty, and we'll just leave it called game object. We're going to make sure that's in there, and then we're going to drag the grocery shelf into that game object. And then off this game object, we can make the blue face us. Nope, not like that. It looks like we need to rotate on the Y. Okay, so blue is facing us. Okay, so blue is facing us here, so now we just need to rotate this. It looks like that's on the Z axis. The blue is the Z axis, so we just rotate that. Boom. And then when I click on shelf, the blue is facing us. So now if I bring in this small shelf, they're the same orientation. Right. So shelf. Still looking for that double-sided shelf. It's in here. I know it is. I've already done this once, so there we go. So now we have some scale to go off of. So this needs to be scaled up. So we can do that off this game object. We'll go. Let's do small into an incremental. So that might be a little big. I don't think it actually needs to be scaled side to side at all, right? Let's check it. Side to side's about fine. Maybe a little bit. Let's go 0.1. Just a little bit, 1.1. And then it needs to be scaled up on the Y. Let's go. That might be good. Let's leave it at that, and we'll see how it goes. All right. So just like with the static objects, we need this green stuff here. So we're going to go nav mesh cut, move state valid area group. We're going to copy those and paste them under shelf. And I'm just moving them to put them where they actually underneath shelf there instead of. And then we're going to move both of them to 0, 0. It doesn't look like there is any real adjustments we need to make with that. Luckily, they are about the same dimension, so that looks good. And then also for these, we need these item compartment groups. So we're just going to take one of them. We're going to copy it, and we're going to paste it under the shelf that we want. I'm just going to move it up here. All right. Now we're going to move this item compartment group over to 0, 0. Now we need to fix it where it fits on our. We can turn this nav mesh cut off for this move state valid area group off for right now. It gets rid of that green box. So we need to adjust this to where it fits on our shelf, right? So we're looking for the price tags, and we're just going to move them. I think it needs to go, if I remember correctly from when I did it before, it needs to go slightly for this particular shelf. We can move that back a little bit. I think for this particular shelf, it needs to go where it's just slightly above it like that. And then we can adjust individual ones. So that one's already been adjusted. That one's been adjusted. So the next two will be these two. I just pull these down. Again, just slightly above it. Let me make a little bit of adjustment to my shelf here, because the shelving is not appropriately. Okay, we don't want to touch the base. Let's pull that up a little bit. Let's pull that up a little bit. There we go. Oh, maybe a little bit, just a tad bit more. That one up a little bit. And we'll pull that one up a little bit. Yeah, like that. That doesn't have to be perfect, right? I'm just showing the tutorial here. All right, so let's go back to the item group. Those two look good. These two can probably come up a little bit now. So we're going to select both of them and just shift click. We're just going to move these up. Probably to about right there. Looks good. The next two will be 4 and 3. We're going to move these down. They were too far up. So about right there looks good. Then 2 and 1, we're going to move these down to this one. So about right there looks good. Yep. All right. And now we're missing 2. So we're just going to take and copy 2 and 1 and paste them under the same group. And just move those up. All right, I think that looks good. So what we can do for the other side is we can just take this entire item group, copy it, paste it under the shelf as well. I'm just going to move it up here. All right. And then we're going to flip it. And the way we're going to flip it is on the y-axis. Y is green, so it's on that axis. So we need to rotate it 180 on the y-axis. And we're just going to move it out to where it makes sense, which is somewhere around that area. All right, and now we can get started on making. Oh, we can turn this now. Match this this move state valid area group back on now, and we can get started on filling out our script. We can get rid of this shelf group. We don't need it anymore. This 3D shelf here. All right. These two shouldn't be here. Oh, we got to drop those in to. I forget. Oh, hang on. What am I doing here? Okay, there we go. Okay. Aha. Okay. So I messed up. We have to drop these into this item compartment. And let's go ahead and copy them again and paste them under this item compartment. I don't know why they don't go under the item compartment you paste them in, but you got to drop them in. With those two selected, we're going to rotate that back to 0 and just pull those out independently. And that's it. These are your price tags. You can move the price tags around wherever you want to. You can scale them. Here, let's make this one smaller just for the sake of making it smaller. And we'll leave it that way for exporting, and we'll just show what it looks like, right? All right, so let's start filling out our script. So on the script, we need some of the same things as we need for the static items. So we need the nav mesh cut. We don't need to worry about the game object type. We don't need to worry about the highlight game object. Nav mesh renderer, we don't have to worry about any of that. That's for highlighting. If you want to highlight as you hover, you can fill that stuff in. We're not going to select is generic object for these. The script will handle that. We do want to be able to pick up and move the object, and we want to be able to box up the object. Place object in shop. Pick up mesh. So the pickup mesh is all it does is it highlights the green or red as you're moving it around, whether you can place it or not. So what I did for this last time is I just use this base. It looks a little funny, but it works. So if you just grab this base mat shelf, if you just click it, you can see what all it is. So it's basically just going to turn this middle piece, this middle and bottom piece here, red or green, based on whether we can place the object or not. This move state valid area, again, that's going to be, if you go in here, it's going to be this one that's inside here. Oh, I accidentally put the mesh there. Let's go get that mesh again. Put that in the mesh. And then move state valid area is going to be the one that's inside here. And then the move state valid area for the shelf is going to be the bigger one, the one that actually has GRP at the end of it. Okay. We don't have to worry about the box collider. We don't have to worry. Oh, we do have to worry about the box collider. So we have to give this a box collider. So we can give the box collider right here. So just click on add component, box collider. We're going to turn this move state valid area off again, just so the other box colliders, and the two item components, we'll just turn those off. So the other box colliders don't get rendered and get us confused. We're going to move this up to like 1 point. Nope, looks like 1's fine. We're just going to scale it on the Y. 1.5. 2. We're just going to play with it a little bit. 2 looks fine. Okay, so one thing about this box collider must, absolutely must, be inside these smaller box colliders. And what I mean by that is, if I go here, see how this box collider is taking over everything? The smaller box colliders are inside of it, so we need to make this smaller. And we can make this smaller on the Z-axis. We're going to make it, let's go 0.7. Okay, so now you see how the smaller colliders are going outside of the bigger collider. This is the line for the bigger one. This is the line here for the bigger one. This is the line here for the smaller one. So the smaller ones are poking outside of it now, and that's what we want. It absolutely must be like that. Okay. All right. And then we don't have to worry about the UI price tag list or the shelf compartment group. Shelf compartment group list we do have to worry about. So that's going to be these two, the item compartment groups. So we have 2 of them on this shelf. So we're just going to click twice, and we're going to drag the first one over and drag the second one over. And that's it. That's all we have to do. So now that I have my shelf completely done and kind of the way I like it here, we're just going to build asset bundles. I got my asset bundle built. It's right here called shelves. I'm just going to basically create a new mod for these. So let's add a new mod folder. We'll just call it shelves. And I'm going to cheat just a tad because I'm going to grab this object. Oop. Oh, okay, I'm in Patchers. I don't need this in here. I'm going to grab this object types, and you can name this whatever you want. This doesn't really matter what the naming is for this JSON file. We'll just call it S. What matters is what value is in here, and we're only adding the one shelf, so we only need one thing. It absolutely must be unique across every single mod that is using this mod. For every single item, it absolutely must be unique. So come up with a prefix or a suffix or some type of weird spelling or something that you do to try to ensure that it's unique for you. I'm just going to add GN to the front, and we're just going to call it GN shelf, and we're going to save that. Okay, so that's done, and then we go to plugins, enhanced prefab, and I'm just going to make another new folder. We're just going to call it shelves. This is where I need my asset bundle, and I'm just going to cheat on the JSON. I'm just going to copy this one. These have to have the same name, right? So now we're going to open the shelves JSON, and we're just going to fix this up. So the icon, let's see, the icon's name is GN shelf icon. The shelf is called shelf. We want to add it to a furniture store. We want it to have this icon. A 5-layered shelf. Let's make it a little bit more realistic to the game. And then I forget what my object type was, so I got to go back to Patchers, shelves. My object type was GN shelf. Okay. As this is going to be a GN shelf. Okay, and that's it. That should be good to go. I can launch my game up here. We will see if it's there. Uh-oh. Seems I broke something because none of my stuff is here. Okay, so here's the beauty of it. We can now we get some debugging. So make sure that this built. Oh, we want to turn that back on as well. Make sure this is filled out correctly. Nav match cut. Can pick up, can box up, place in shell. Yep, yep, yep. Box collider. We need the box collider. So we pull the shelf down, put the shelf down, hit save. We don't care about box collider list. Oh, we also forgot this. The game action input, start move object, save, And then another thing we forgot is the layer. We got to put this in shop model layer. Just the base, whichever object that you put that box collider on. So just this base shelf. Save. Shelf components are there. Everything else looks good, so we can bundle those assets again. And I think that may be the whole issue we were having. So we're just going to go back into the plugins and go back to Enhanced Prefab Shelves, and we're just going to replace this. And let's try again here. All right, it looks like I fixed it because my other stuff is in here. Now we just need to find that shelf. I forget what level I put it at. There we go. Here's the shelf. We can place it. I have to open my shop, and let's just buy some cards because I'm not going through all these boxes on the ground. My stockers should come in here and start stocking this stuff. There they go. And as you can see, I do have customers pulling cards off the shelves, so they do work. And yeah, that is adding custom shelves.